There was some point, oh, I don't know, probably in the last 10, maybe 12 years where, and some people that know me know this, and Jay, you may or may not remember this. I didn't fall into a spiritual perspective until I was 46 years old. I didn't understand hardly any of this until a door opened that relates to the passing of a colleague. But some years after that, I asked my guides once I realized I had guides and figured out to a degree how to talk to my guides. I said, so okay, spiritual guides. So, I think probably what I didn't say, but I could have said is, you let me go along all these years until I was 46. Um, and, sort of in the dark, spiritually. And obviously I became a psychologist and all of that. Why spiritual guides? Why didn't I get into this type of work and understanding sooner? And basically for me personally, my guide said to me, um, Linda, we wanted you to walk that sort of whatever normal means, but that sort of normal journey
Yeah.
and, then get this normal credential, um, and then step into this because that's the background we wanted you to have first. So, yet I'm sure there are some of you and some of you that are here today live. Some of you have known that you were a soul and had guides and had spiritual experiences when you're, well, kind of like Earl, when you were 5, 6, 7, 8, and 10 years old, as is Earl's story. Yeah,
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 I think it, it's everyone is different. And I think, I think what your guide said to you is very interesting. There's a moment where it is most impactful for you. And obviously, yeah, you becoming a doctor and having those authorities. And then now speaking about spirituality is a completely different message
yeah,
than crazy
totally.
Earl, who just was sort of a lunatic right when he was a kid.
He
But
was, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, no, no,
No,
go
no.
for it.
Yeah, I mean, I was 8 years old, but I didn't know what does an 8 year old know what to do with this? The fact that I could see myself in past lives. I can't talk to anybody about this.
Yeah, I remember
Rural Oregon, the 1950s. No one, literally, no one was there. So I just dissociated from that memory until Linda was ready to move into her transformative period of time. And then, oh, I remember all of this now. But our guides often tell us when people say, well, why didn't you let me know ahead of time? Because you weren't ready.
Mm.
And we don't get to determine our readiness. And I think that is a piece of understanding that when we are ready to make that transformative step at whatever age that is, then we have guidance doing that. But yeah,
Okay,
I would
so,
even,
oh, no,
I'm
go ahead,
sorry.
Jay. No, no, no,
Well,
go.
I would even say that we actually, before we come into this life, we sort of plan a little bit of what it's going to be and what the big milestones are. So on some
Yes.
level, I think we've chosen that moment in life. And,
Uh,
on some level,
absolutely.
yeah.
yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Jay, I think you're totally right. And I've heard that from clients.